Welcome back to Unite Pieces Recap. Today we will be recapping the Forever Purge, an American dystopian action horror movie from 2021. The movie focuses on the chaos unfolding in the state of America. A news report reveals that the state and the NFFA have finally succumbed to the purgers. However, amidst the grim situation, there is a glimmer of hope as Americans rise up to defend themselves and reclaim their country from the real enemy. So without further ado, let's get into the Forever Purges. The movie begins in Mexico, where a couple named Adela and Juan walk through the desert and into a house. After paying a few $100s, they are led into an underground tunnel and guided by a boy, who learns that they are on their way to cross the border and head towards the US. Their reason for leaving Mexico was to protect themselves from the ruthless mafia in Mexico who were targeting them. Before parting ways, the boy gives Adela a card and advises her to follow the roses if she needs help. After 10 months in the United States, Adela was actively improving her English while working as a manager with Darius. Juan, on the other hand, had gotten a job as a ranch hand for the Tucker family, one of the wealthy and respected families. One day, he is called to calm down a wild horse. Due to Juan's problem-solving skills, the head of the family, Caleb, is impressed. In the evening, the Tucker family gathers for dinner attended by Caleb's son, Dylan, his pregnant wife, Cassie, and Dylan's sister, Harper. Cassie tells Dylan to allow her to hire additional help when the baby is born, but Dylan flatly refuses, expressing his unwillingness to let his children grow up speaking Spanish, as the woman Cassie wants to hire is Mexican. The long-awaited day finally arrived, the day of the purge. Although the cancellation of the purge had happened before, the increase in illegal immigrants led to the restoration of power to the American founders. As a result, the purge is officially reinstated, and targets immigrants and people who break the law. Later, Caleb gives Juan extra money for protection, at which point Juan becomes suspicious that Dylan harbors prejudice against him, simply because he is Mexican. Adela and Juan then find their own hideout for the night, while the Tucker family stays put. The purge proceeds as usual, with violence and chaos sweeping the streets, death everywhere. In the morning, Juan accompanies his friend TT to work, and together they notice that the gate to the Tucker residence has been opened. Meanwhile, while working with Darius, Adela sees a goat trapped in a cage. When she tries to free it, she unknowingly triggers a trap that then traps it inside. Suddenly, two people wearing rabbit masks, known as purgers, appear with the intention of continuing their activities, even though it is beyond the appointed time. Fortunately, Darius arrived just in time to rescue Adela and free her from her captivity. They quickly root out the purgers, but their efforts are hindered when law enforcement officers arrive and mistakenly arrest them, assuming them to be the party responsible for the ongoing purging. Meanwhile, the Tucker family was facing attacks from another group of purgers led by Kirk. Kirk believes that the Tucker family is hoarding resources and exploiting others, though that is only his assumption. He then asserts that their actions are a forever purge. Caleb boldly interrupts Kirk and points out the hypocrisy of participating in an event organized by the very people he criticizes. However, before finishing his sentence, Caleb is tragically shot in the head. Juan and TT arrive on the scene, finishing off Kirk and the purgers before rescuing Dylan, Harper, and Cassie, and escaping. The streets are thrown into chaos as the ever after purgers, a group of people who engage in relentless violence, wreak havoc and destruction. Adela and Darius, traveling in a van, have a collision that claims the life of a female prisoner. Later, amidst the chaos, a white supremacist attempts to attack Adela, but Darius intervenes and eliminates him. Juan and the others eventually find Adela and Darius, but Darius chooses to stay behind, sacrificing himself to face the purgers, while Adela joins the group to escape. Amidst the ongoing chaos, news reports indicate that due to the escalating situation in the country, Mexico and Canada have opened their borders for the next 6 hours, welcoming American refugees looking to escape the chaos and violence. Then, the group decided to start their journey towards Mexico. When going through El Paso, they used the strategy of waving the ever-after flag to divert suspicion from the purgers, so that the purgers would think that they were allies. After driving a long way, they decided to walk in order to approach the border. On the way, they were unexpectedly ambushed by the Ever After Purgers, led by Elijah Hardin, and his wife known as Mother. Hardin and Mother delivered a grim ultimatum to the Tucker family, offering them a chance to survive if they executed Adela, Juan, and TT. In a defiant response, Harper rejected their request, telling them to go to hell. In a quick scene, Mother shoots TT, resulting in his death. However, the remaining heroes gathered their strength and engaged in a fierce battle against the Purgers. Fortunately, Juan managed to shoot Mother in the face, before they finally managed to escape. As they continued to move, the group made further progress. They came across a news report detailing the destructive actions of the Ever After Purgers who blew up a military compound. As a result, Mexico quickly closed its borders. Adela and Juan, on their journey, remember the message to follow the roses, and they begin searching for signs adorned with paintings of roses, hoping that it will guide them into Mexico. During their search, Adela and Cassie, who are separated from the group, unexpectedly encounter armed men. Adela uses her communication skills to persuade them to find shelter. Eventually, Dylan, Juan, and Harper are reunited with Adela and Cassie, at a compound that houses other survivors. Later, they form a large group, and together they head towards the Canadian border to seek refuge. Some time later, the group makes it to safety, but their respite is short-lived as the Ever After Purgers, led by Elijah, approach with the intent to kill the immigrants. At the same time, Cassie begins to experience labor pains and is quickly escorted to the medical tent and accompanied by Harper, as Dylan chooses to stay behind and fight alongside Adela and Juan. Later, the Purgers storm in, sparking a brutal and intense firefight with the migrants. However, as they ran out of ammunition and were outnumbered, they decided to retreat and finish off the enemy one by one. But unbeknownst to them, Elijah manages to take Adela hostage. Fortunately, with Dylan's help, Juan manages to get close and disarm Elijah, ending his life. While the remaining Purgers are left lifeless. Afterwards, Dylan rushed to the medical tent to join Cassie, who had successfully delivered a baby girl. Adela and Juan soon joined them, and Dylan expressed his gratitude to them both in Spanish. In addition, the movie also illustrates how cooperation and unity can help humans to survive and fight evil. Although the movie is scary and gruesome, the message it conveys is very important and worthy of attention and reflection. What do you think of this movie? Please write your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the like button, and support our channel by subscribing, so that we stay motivated to create more interesting content for you to enjoy. And until next time.